All right, everyone. Good morning and afternoon. Thanks for joining our webinar today. First of all, a few housekeeping items. This webinar will be recorded. A link to the recording will be sent to everyone in attendance. Of course, feel free to share your questions, and at the end, we'll have a time for Q&A, and we'll follow up if there are any unanswered questions by the end of the webinar. Today, we will cover the AI evolution and industry landscape. Then we'll discuss about how to use AI agents and the best approach to take in this path. And finally, we'll demonstrate for the first time an innovation that we are really, really excited and really proud of, but no spoilers for now. I'll let that for Fang later. Quick intros. Let me hand it over to you, Fang. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Very glad to be here. I'm Fang Yu. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer of DataVisor.
Perfect. And I am Neto. I am the product marketing manager at DataVisor. Really passionate about turning AI from interesting into useful, and that is exactly what we are going to talk today. So let's start with the industry landscape. If you are here, you are concerned about AI misuse. And in fact, financial crime is already agentic. So 89% of financial institutions say AI is supercharging scams. And if you take any projection, it is really high, really huge numbers. But why it's so compelling for criminals to use it? Agentic AI is actually 4.5 times more profitable than traditional fraud. This is a data from Interpol. And well, this is exactly the structural shift in the economics of financial crime that makes these first two numbers so relevant for all of us. And now, what agentic mean here? It means that we have now AI systems that can plan, adapt, and execute attacks at scale and around the clock. So let's look inside of this criminal engine. You all know Anthropic, right? This gigantic AI lab. And they shared a threat intelligence report showing basically 4 capabilities that AI has given criminals new use cases and unlocking new use cases. The first one is analysis and targeting. Criminals profile victims at scale and a precision that was never possible before, actually. So they are analyzing patterns, identifying vulnerabilities, and selecting the highest value targets automatically. The second one is the infrastructure side. So they're using AI not as like specific tools or point solutions, but they are building everything that they need in terms of these tools. So for example, fake identities and synthetic documents, things that used to require a significant human labor now runs as autonomous pipelines. The third one is the operational resilience. So this means that their systems adapt very fast. And when their attacks fail, they know and they recalibrate. So they're less and less static and more adaptive with this new technology. And the fourth one is really sad, but it's the consequence, which is the technical sophistication. So AI is getting easier to use and more capable, but this opens the doors for less technical individuals to engage in financial crime. So these are the concrete outcomes, right? So higher success rates, greater scale, better adaptability, and more criminals entering the game. Now, basically, criminals can just access AI tools and just have the willingness to use them, and that's it. So what this means for us all and for you, for fraud and AML teams, this means that the old operating model of like reactive responses, delayed defenses, simply just don't hold up anymore. The speed and that adaptability on the criminal side demand a fundamentally different response on the defense side. So that is what we have seen across the board. Take any report and you see numbers pointing to the same direction, basically. So the consequence is that to be ready to this new world, organizations will need to work in a new operating model that matches this intelligence and this speed of financial criminals. And if you're here, it means that you are great leaders, you are looking to innovate, you are looking to stay ahead, but you know that it's never easy, right? Leaders are feeling the pressure. They know that AI is the right answer to combat AI crime, but there's a gap to overcome. And these are the three barriers that we see constantly. The first one being data and infrastructure. So most financial institutions don't have a unified data layer. They have silos. So part of the fraud data is there, part of the AML data is there, third-party signals are somewhere else. And without this unified solution, AI doesn't have the full context. AI simply doesn't work well. The second one is the governance, trust, and explainability. Regulated institutions can just deploy like a black box AI tool, right? Every decision needs to be auditable, needs to be explainable, and follow the human control, the human review. The third one is the expertise and skills. Building, deploying, and continuously managing trusted applications require both the technical expertise and the industry expertise. So these barriers are real. They are the actual work that needs to happen, and they are the reason that we build what we're going to show in just a few minutes. So with that, I will hand over to Fang, who will introduce how to close this gap and to unlock the real value with AI agents.
Thank you, Neto. So let me actually share my screen. Yeah, so why the fraud and the AML need to unlock this thing? I think Neto already gave us a pretty good reason now. The attacks are actually evolve much faster. There are gazillion of data. But I think in reality, there are a lot of reasons that we want to use the AI platform. And here why I'm saying that we need to have one platform to solve this issue. I think all of you probably are very familiar with ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, etc. As Neto said, when you are here, must be an expert in the AI. But really using those to fight fraud and AML is actually pretty hard because the data, restrictions, you cannot actually put customer data, etc., to the public domain. So the data, actually accessing the data is the number one requirement for the AI platform to do that. And then not only the data, but also the real time of the data, because fraud evolves super quick, right? If you are using like a still 1 day delay on the data lake to actually analyze, the pattern we got actually maybe actually fits yesterday's attack, but not actually against today's attack anymore. So having a real-time data orchestration, unify all the signals and power is very, very important. Not only the raw event data, but also a lot of other data. For example, manual review result, right? Why we think this is good or why we think it's bad. Customer reports. So if the customer complains, what are the happening? And then not only the transaction data, but also the logging data, the second factor authentication data, et cetera, et cetera. And also some of the review cases, you need third party additional data to evaluate. So getting the data into one platform and store it in a secure and a governance way is very, very important. The second part is a governance control, right? AI can go ahead and then do, I mean, there's open cloud, they can do a lot of things, but we do want to govern it, and especially in the world of a real-time transaction processing, you do not want AI to openly operate. So how does a human playing a role in it? How do we actually review the thing, the AI artifact that they created and approve it? What are the rollback mechanisms? What are the versioning? What are the logs? So those are also very, very important, not only to maintain the system integration and also to actually for the reporting as well. So for the auditors, for the governance reporting. And then the third one is that I think AI applies to every step of the process, not only the detection, but also the reviews, the integration, etc. So it's really important to put all of these together and have a platform able to operate AI and utilize AI's capability. And then I think the AI has a lot of capabilities and it can enhance our day-to-day operations. So if you look at day-to-day operation, there are still many painful manual processes, right? So when we actually write the rule, it need to create the features, create the rules, and then prepare the rules, test the rules. So a lot of steps there already. And then when we want to tune the rule, then it's also a lot of steps. We need to go through the data analysis and then write SQLs, optimize the rule, and sometimes offline Jupyter notebook analysis, sometimes inline analysis. So a lot of iterations of the rule operations. And also the investigations can be very challenging as well because nowadays there are so many informations about the customer. If for a customer who's a brand new create a bad account, it has limited history. It's slightly easier, but for a established customer or established even business accounts, it has gazillion of transactions to really pinpoint where the account actually have issue, whether it's like a whole account issue or it's actually account takeover or somebody actually got scammed, etc. It's a lot of work. So here we are actually all fraud and money laundering firefighters, but we're doing a lot of manual works. With Vera, DataVisor's new AI tools, we hope to alleviate many of the AI tools. We hope that AI can help us as assistant to do many of these dirty works, and then we can stay controlled in terms of strategy, directions, approvals, etc. So really kind of free the analysts and then the reviewers of the detailed dirty work from that, and then increase operation efficiency and also gain more insights from the patterns. So this is Vera. I won't go into detail. I will run a live demo to you and showing its capabilities. So you will see in a second. Before I go to the live demo part, I want to say that AI, for our experience, it actually is able to unlock four type of different operations. One is actually detection, not only the like a large language model, but data visors and supervised machine learning is also one of the AI tools that we leverage to uncover the coordinated fraud attack without even labels to see what are the new attack happening and then how can we actually capture it without the loss. That someone reported they got hacked or someone reported they have a loss. So supervised and supervised machine learning are part of the AI tools. And then also the creation, the feature creation update that I'm going to demo. And after you have the models and the rules, the AI tuning is very important. So AI tuning the false positives, tuning the detections. If there's new rules, new attack happens, how do we actually create the new rules, etc. So for our experience, the tuning actually can significantly reduce the false positive rates with the AI interactive chatting. So for some of the DataVisor's customer in this call, you know that we had actually the AI tuning tools already. I think it's shipped and with AI tuning, it will suggest new rules. But with Vera, it's going to give you clear explanations why the AI actually think this is a good parameters. It will give you all the reasons, and you can also give its input. Maybe you don't like the direction it's going in. What are the input you can put in? And then, for example, it can also get from the system what's a manual review comments and get those and help to tune the rules. So it's really able to interactively tuning the rules to achieve the high performance. And of course, investigation is a big part. We want to increase investigation efficiencies. And then after we roll out the AI summary part, we see a big decrease in terms of the investigation time and also the reporting. So narrative generations also significantly reduce manual overhead. So with that, I'm going to do the demo. I will start with the detection part. So this is a live demo. So this is our Vera. So you are able to chat with it. So how about that? Can you please create a rule to detect a new user who conducted more than $10,000 of ACH transactions in one day. So this is kind of like a sudden increase. A brand new user conduct a lot. That's suspicious. And then I think the transaction event type is called in our systems is a trans. Okay, so then the AI will actually say, hey, I'm going to create this rule. So the nice part of the AI is that it will first look at existing features, whether there is anything already in the system that can be used. This is really, really critical because if you manage like a data science team before, that every like analyst could have their own features. So in the end, they actually need to see where these features actually have. So there are a lot of like redundancies. So here it searches all the features and it summarizes. Okay, I see there is a new user. It's perfect for the new user condition. So one over here, I want to detect whether it's a new user. It already has a feature. So you don't have to repeatedly create the redundant features. But I don't find the ACH transaction one day feature existing. I need to actually create one. So then it actually start creating the features. You can see actually it will actually create the features. So then build the rule. So it will start to create a feature. Then let me actually ask it to go ahead. So it says ACH sum one day. It doesn't have its new users actually having it, and then it's actually having the account days, customer days, and then we'll actually go ahead. Okay. So then it will start creating the missing velocity feature first. Then it will build the rules. So then it started to creating the features. So what the feature is doing, if you are familiar with DataVisor systems, it's able to create a feature based accumulate. So here it's more than $10,000 of ACA transaction in one day. It may not be only one transaction. So if it's one transaction, it's very simple. But if the user actually makes multiple transactions, then it's actually doing the accumulations on our systems. So it's actually doing the build the rules. It's a little bit like slow here. Yeah, that's how I think it's creating the missing feature list and then building the rules. I don't know whether I think it's it's creating the rules. Maybe let me actually go whether I need to approve it. I think it's creating the feature, creating the rules. So it's searching the features. The rules. Maybe I will let it restart a bit. Hold on. So yes, go ahead. Okay, so it's still creating the velocity feature, start searching the procedures to create the velocity feature. So everything's in order. Now it will create the velocity feature. I'm wondering whether it actually, okay. So this is a feature it created. So you can see here the user amount, and then it's actually the window. This is actually one day. So we can actually preview the features here. So this is a sum feature, as I mentioned. They need to get the user ID and together with amount and look at the last one day and then to aggregate the sum. So this actually looks good. So I read through this. I think the approval here, governance is actually important. So I actually look at it. It's all good. Then I approve the feature. So now it's going to go ahead and create the feature. So the velocity feature has successfully created. Then I think now the feature is created. It's going to create the rules using both the feature it's just created and then the existing rule, the user features. Then the rule assistant agent is actioning. So first, I think it's also trying to see whether there is actually a new rule. Of course, there's no new rule since the feature is brand new as well. Then it will go ahead to create the rules. So here you can see it's actually already created the rules. We can also preview the rules on these conditions. Then it's all look good. Then we can also come here and then approve the rules. So here, then we will have a rule that will create based on this new features created. So this is a summary. It actually gets create the features and create the rules. So you can see here, so this is a rule logic. Next step, it can say, hey, you can review and publish the rules if it starts, and then review and activate the rules. So here, all of what we are playing here is actually in the AI playground. So you do actually having the approval workflow here. So we approve it to create a temp feature, but in many times, as you all see, this temp features may or may not be actually very useful. And so here as a final step, you can actually say, hey, go ahead and create in the system. In that case, the other users in the system can see these features. And then you can also put these features into productions. So this actually really have the approval workflows for you to see it. And if you want to push it into the production, in some of our client settings, they also have approval workflows. So the managers, the peers need to review the features and then let it actually go into the production. So here you can see different steps of the features creations, and you can also test with this chat way as well. With this, it's a very simple feature creation, rule creation. I'll go ahead and demo the rule tuning part, but due to the time limitation, I won't actually do the actual rule tuning. I don't think I can finish in 7 minutes. Instead, I'll show you one of the examples we have here. So for example, here, this is one that we want to tune one of the rules. This is one of the rules you ask it to tune. It first actually get the rule and explain to you what are the conditions. So this rule is actually pretty complex. It has many conditions here. So this is one of the conditions is the ODFI debit transaction more than 5,000, and then the standard deviation is more than 5. And then there's also like the size of the last, like a lot of deposit more than 3. So it explain all these like a condition to you pretty well in the natural language way, so that we don't need to like I reading these conditions to understand these conditions. Then with this, it will ask what's a period that you want to evaluate the performance on and what are the conditions you put it in. Then you actually put it in, then it will go directly talk to the systems and then analyze the performance of this rule. Then it offers two mode. The first mode is actually on the threshold tuning. The threshold tuning is that giving these features, you can adjust the threshold. For example, whether it's 5,000 is a good parameter or it's actually more than that. So it will automatically do all the mathematic part here, as you can see here, and then adjust the threshold. The second part is that it's review analysis. So if you have human putting labels into the system, it will summarize that and add features and add rules to it. With a time limitation, I won't go into the details, but you can see it can go through many of the threshold tunings. You can also guide it in. It can do automatic things, but you can also give it specific like parameter. If you have a lot of ideas, you can actually say, hey, try these set of parameters, and it will diligently try these parameter for you and tell you what's the precision, what's the recall values. So you can go through all of these, but you can also do it, say, hey, beyond this, right? So we have some threshold. Beyond this, what's your suggested like additional reasons or additional segments you want to put it on or additional criteria? Then AI start to actually giving you suggestions. So here it gave us five suggestions on the account age, transaction patterns, etc. When we have these suggestions, you can pick the search. Hey, I like some of these ideas. You go ahead. When it's go ahead, it will, the nice part is that it will try to find what are the existing features there already in the systems to match these suggestions. So for example, here it finds five different features for it. And then it can utilize these features and put in the rules to make the rule better. So in the end, I'll scroll down to here. You can see this is actually an extreme case. You actually, before at very beginning, we have like a 4 point something precision. After the threshold manual tuning, it becomes like a 9.6%. With this prior month's volume, it's able to be 27%. So adding more things, it's actually let the more rule more and more accurate. And in the end, I think it's even get much higher. And AI is actually pretty funny. When I was reading this, is that it also provides a lot of like a good sentiment to the analyst. They say, "Oh, here the feature condition delivered exceptional performance," and then I'm sure who use it will be very happy. And then in the end, it was that the rule now focus on this that is strongly indicated the fraud rather than this is a very good example of the precision focused rule optimization. So it does, you can see what the analyst doing is here giving the input, but all the work and all the verification, etc., is actually done by the system. With last part, we will quickly demo it's not only about writing the rule, tuning the rules, but you can also having the manual review teams. For example, here, if you have manual review teams, you can come in and then there are a lot of informations you can see on the device signals, behaviors, but what are the things all of these actually say about it? If you have AI summary, it will very quickly tell you what are the summary of this case. You can read this first and then combine with our checklist approach to really get the summary so for the reviewers to review much faster. And not only this, but when you have a compliance filing, the saw narrative generations also takes a lot of time because there are a lot of like could be a lot of common suspect information. But if you have generated by AI part, then you will able to create a nice report on behalf of the users. And of course, the user can chat with it, can edit it to further refine the report. But this features of using AI for reviews, for reporting, has been really features that our clients appreciate, and then they feel it's a big operation efficiency improvement. So with that, I think I ran a little bit over time. We only have a 1 minute.
Let's go quickly on. We have two questions. The first one is, what kind of success metrics are the suggestions validated against? I think you talked a little bit about it, but if you can just
Yeah. So I think the suggestions we have it of like standard like a false positive, like a detection rate, a true positive, and sometimes when that it does the feature analysis, I don't know, I think I scrolled through. They also actually have a lot of like F1 metrics, etc. So those like data science metrics.
perfect. The second one is, it's great to see that before AI starts executing upon the prompt, it checks if a similar feature already exists or not. Does it also give suggestions if a similar rule exists?
Yeah, it did. Actually, the one that I showed, it checked whether the rule exists. But because of my this case, we even create a new feature, so there's no existing rules. But the reuse of the rules, reuse of the features is actually very, very important.
All right. I think we
I
don't
think
have
the
any.
last question of the
Oh,
no, actually two more. SAR narrative, it does reference all the cases it can find. For
mhm.
our customers, sometimes it have many cases. It actually able to get all the cases, all the suspect information and summarize them together. And then what are the
What are the
integration
integration
requirement?
requirements and expected implementation times?
Yeah, so this is standard DataVisor integration. And then all the AI features are it doesn't require any additional integrations for this. So it's out of box that we hook up everything.
Perfect. I think with that, this is all, yeah, these are all the questions we have today. So thanks again, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the webinar and see you next time.
Thank you, El.